Is that it? Think it might be time for me to say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to consider minor inconveniences. What an interesting stream topic, I'd say. This morning, had problems with this new device I'm wearing. It's still, for some reason, trying to pair with something. I'm trusting that it is connected, but I don't know. I don't know. Zhou has been a Whoop wearer for an extended period of time, and when she got a new one, it has like a program where it allows you to gift your old Whoop to someone else, and I'm the recipient of said gifted Whoop. We got it all connected up last night. The data is pretty cool. I like the data. However, it's been minor inconveniencing me a little bit with like user interface bugginess. And this morning, I just, for the life of me, I have to take it off of my body, then tap it a bunch of times to get it in pairing mode, to get it back to pair with my phone. And it put me in this whole state of like frustrated irritation. And I could feel it. I could feel it in my body. I could feel it in my mind. I could feel it in my bones when I was trying to practice my yoga. Beg your pardon, I'm just being funny. Indeed, and green beans in a shoe. 9 oily hens. Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Gobbity said, indeed, and green beans in a shoe. 9 oily hens. 9 oily hens. That seems like a minor inconvenience to me, I'll say. Having your hens full of oil. I don't know how that would happen. I worked pretty hard on that, Gob says. It's like, laugh more. Oh, the amount of green beans and what unto you? Green, indeed, and green beans in the shoe, 9 oily hens. Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. That's funny. It's pretty funny, Gobs. Must say, it's just us here at this point, right? Having some fun, lighthearted fun. Yes, she's laughing. You got it, bro. You won. Yeah. Today has been one of those days. Me and Joe set the intention to start waking up at 7, which is 2 hours ago. It's 9:09. Why does that feel wrong to me? I guess it does make sense. My yoga class is at 8:30, but still, I do not feel like I've been awake for 2 hours. I think that's the thing. I feel like I just barely crawled out of bed. I have been having a real experience with wanting things to be a very certain way, right? And being minorly inconvenienced when they're not necessarily. And it usually is the small things, right? And I feel like that is kind of what I want to talk about in today's streams. This reminder to myself and to all of us as a collective community that the minor inconveniences are really not that big a deal. You know, I had this whole almost like realization in my yoga class today that no matter how much doesn't work the way that I want it to, no matter how opposite to my plans things end up heading as a unified direction, there is no way for me to break reality. I thought you were on your way here. Are you? No, she's just putting on shoes. Guess you do have to go to work today. Joe did get to have at least a nice calm day yesterday. The people that approve her work for acceptance or revision was off work yesterday. So she's ahead on her fractal. So we got to have a nice calm day together. Oh, it works as well. I was taking little flecks off of her feet. There you go, Chris Pratt. Hey, Mind's Mouth said the same thing he did yesterday. How original. How original. Yeah, minor inconveniences. I don't know if I'm minorly inconvenienced by people saying things like that. Yeah, like that's not an insult to me at the very least. I like the way Chris Pratt looks. One of those sex icons. That's what I've heard. Back to entertain us with your laughable troll skills. I have turrets. Good. I like the machine guns on the outside of building. Yes, of course. I got turrets too. You know, they shoot on sight. They only kill. I'm trying to look out the window, and I don't know if it's foggy out there. Oh, that's what's happening here. It's fogging on the window itself. Yeah. It's gonna be a 16 degrees Celsius day, so
Warm.
yeah, warmish. Mickey bottom. Nice enough to go outside. Hey, we got other friends here too. That's nice. We got Sam saying, "You have too much free time and not enough inclination to pick up a book." He does look like Chris Pratt mixed with Adam Sandler. That's a nice one. Adam Sandler? I never heard that one before. That one. You can see it. I like Adam Sandler. That's the thing. That's why.
I'm like an old Adam Sandler.
Oh, guess about. I thought you said you're not.
I'm not.
You're not anymore.
I'm an old Adam Sandler fan.
Oh, his old stuff.
Like old Adam Sandler.
There's new Adam Sandler. I mean,
I think it has to do with old classic Adam Sandler's good. And
Happy Gilmore.
Its time.
Happy Gilmore era Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousins, like one cousin actually, because the one that I was at his wedding before my brother's wedding last year, January, that cousin, he had like a Adam Sandler obsession.
Adam Sandler fanboy.
Like he would make sure he has all his movies at all times. Like
With him.
I don't know if with him, but technically with him. He would have his laptop bag, and his laptop bag was a hard drive.
Like that's his shtick.
And he would have all of the Adam Sandler movies. I'm gonna ask him if he's watched Uncut Gems. Like that movie made me kind of respect Adam Sandler again. I think that was one of his recent ones, right? Ooh, I don't know if that's the kind of movie me and you want to watch together. It's not a movie that I think you need to watch either. Yeah, it's a movie that makes the world of gambling very clear. Yeah, it's a gambling movie. If you gamble and you have a problem, go watch Uncut Gems. The problem with Uncut Gems is depending on what kind of person you are, you might see that as a good thing. What happens? Are you that kind of person? You get some help. You need to get some help right now. If you think what happened in Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems is all good, get some help immediately. Find a counselor. Bro looks like Timu Chris Pratt. That one is still not an insult. Yeah, that was another person. Vladivostok. Yeah, minor inconveniences. Maybe this is one of those. Maybe I should see it as minor inconveniences. Wish brand Jamie Fraser is my personal favorite, and that's how you be original. You make up your own. Wish brand. I don't know who Jimmy Fraser is. Do I? I don't see a face in my mind when I close my eyes. He's Star-Lord. Hi, Craig. It's nice having you. Yeah. No, I know. I got that. But he's just called Star-Lord, not Star-Lord Man. Which makes me feel like it's Batman, but I got bit by Star-Lord, becoming Star-Lord Man. That's how it works, right? Is that no? Not how it works, damn it. How you? I'm doing well. I see Dan saying, "Morning, y'all." Hey, Dan. Dan is here. There's already a Timu Chris Pratt in the chat. Boring. Do better, trolls. Like for me, again, it's not even. I don't know. It's not funny, really. I can take it mildly as a compliment, and it leaves me with nothing to really say in response. I feel. I think that's the thing that really gets me. Is like it's so devoid of juice that there's not much that I can add to it. Outlander TV series, book series with lots of hard plonking. With lots of hard plonk in it. What kind of TV series are you watching, Sam? That's where Jimmy Fraser is from. Did you hear that, Joe? Sam watches TV shows with a lot of, in her words, hard plonk in it. Yep, that's it. Hard plonk in it. I don't know what that means, and it scares me. BMK finds it funny too. What does hard plonk in it mean? You need to give me more context. How does one hard plonk?
This is gonna get. If you let this.
Okay, there we go. What kind of TV show is that? That holds my interest longer than 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't know if that's making it better. Sam, you bringing me coffee?
Did you say plonk?
Yep, hard plonk in it.
Something about that sounds.
I know, it sounds dirty. It sounds a little bit dirty. What are you watching? You need to give me more context. I cannot within the bounds of the rules. Oh my goodness, what a
You're gonna warm that up. That's not.
and maybe even put it in the flask.
Oh.
This is already, as you said, nice and downable, and I can feel the compulsion in me to drink all of it right now, the way I drink water. And please mercy, says the word coffee. Can this thing? I think so. It's very close, but make it nice up and personal with that element. Please don't drop my coffee. Thank you. Love you, Joe. Yeah. I am coming back like I've been reset and like I forgot everything that was talked about earlier. No, stop. No, I need to forget.
We were talking about plunking.
Giovanna's like, oh, we're talking about plunking. Me too, Gab. Me too, Dad, says Gab. I don't know. I think I missed this beautiful man. Oh, tragic perception. I feel a little bit shiny. I've been putting some sunscreen on my face, and it makes me feel just a little bit too shiny. And why? Because technically, if you have a window open inside your house, that's enough exposure to UV to start doing damage to your body. And you know that? I wish I didn't know that. I wish I knew less sometimes so I can live with blissful ignorance. You know, do whatever I want to. But no, I have to have access to the internet, and the internet has to incessantly tell me things. You know this? Stop, please. Please, I just want to sit and stare out the window without imagining all of the UV rays. I did actually think about putting UV protective film on your windows, but it might make them shiny on the outside. And I know you don't like that, right?
It's not that it's shiny, it's when it's
reflective. That's what I mean. And the birds fly into it.
Yeah. Bird collisions.
Birds think it's portal into another world.
I do have solutions.
You got
I
solutions?
just need to put the effort and energy into manifesting those solutions.
I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Like that one.
That is nice. I spend too much time outside anyway.
Sorry, that might be wet in the bottom. I just realized that.
It's fine. I'm putting all of that wet on my plants. Nice.
Hot?
It's great.
I'm convinced.
Oh, I might have just taken too much of a sip at the first. I didn't burn myself, which is great. We love that. No burning was burned. TV show. I'm feeling antsy today. I'm feeling a bit antsy too, Dan. Really antsy, yo. Like, I think that's what today's stream topic was supposed to be about, like signifying. Oh, you're gonna leave, Shunzo? Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're very late technically already. Mm. She's smiling. She finds it cute.
You're just like pacing back and forth. This is me not wanting
Yeah, she's totally biding time. You're gonna give me a hug.
I'm just making sure I got all my stuff. I definitely don't.
Got your cell phone?
I'm looking one thing at a time from each room.
Have you been taking your earphones with you? No.
I have earphones for here and earphones for there.
Got work earphones, of course. Oh, you're gonna be back in like 3 hours. Yeah.
Difference.
Love you, John. You feeling antsy this morning a bit?
No.
Not antsy-less? What are you doing then? Are you sending me all of your antsy? I know me and Dan have been like mentally syncing up, and clearly Dan is like sending me 50% of his antsy.
Ask him what song's stuck in his head. Wouldn't that be weird?
Oh, yeah. Like I had that. I've got guns in my hand and I don't go. Spirits in my hand and I
I
don't.
woke up with that song.
Me too. I just had that song like while I was showering. I had that
While you
song
were showering?
while I was showering. I had that song in my head, and I was like, "Why do I have this song in my head?" And then I come into the kitchen after showering, and Joe was like, "I've got guns," and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa,
That's really weird.
very strange."
Yeah, no, 100%. Like before you showered, that song was playing in my head. I'm like, why is this song in my head?
Why have all songs like we haven't heard it?
Yeah, no.
Have we? I don't think so. Maybe it was no. Maybe, part of me is like maybe it played on Shrinking last night when we watched the show, but I also can't remember it. Strange. Love you. Yeah, we're clearly tuning in with our brains into some sort of radio channel. We're on the same channel. Love you, Xiao. See you soon. Should I cook us lunch? Should I do that that steak and eggs?
You don't have to. I was wanting to, and I haven't gotten around to it, and I'm feeling guilty and bad that I haven't done that yet. I mean, I can cook it.
Nope. I'll do it, Xia. I'm happy to. I look forward to welcoming you with a nice warm meal when you get back home. Love you. See you soon. Yeah. Heart plonk. Sounds like a giggity follow. Yeah. Does have a little bit of a giggity vibe to it. How come Gab need to feeling I also like something oily hands. It does have that something to it, doesn't it? I don't know why it is either. I'm feeling a little bit like what's happening? Why am I antsy? What happened? Did something happening? Is something happening right now that I should be knowing about that I don't know about? Yeah, melt this. Don't tell me. I want to not know. Clearly, not knowing is preferable these days. Goodness, have you been watching what's been going on? Yeah. Don't tell me again. I've been really out of the loop. I've been not. I just heard something make a sound. I've been not absorbing the news cycle whatsoever. It's been one of those things. You know, I like part of me feels like I wish I knew what's going on. Part of me knows that I wish I didn't. Right. So it's this which balance do I want to hold? Which information do I appreciate? The own calm of my mind or being informed about what's going on in the world? I think the world is going to be okay, whether I'm informed or not. And I think that is literally what today's stream topic is supposed to get at. That despite the minor inconveniences we find ourselves faced with day by day, the world is going to be okay. Right? I'd like to believe that. I really would like to. And I am convinced at this point that it is that way, technically, for the most part. Right? Whether I know what's going on or not, things are gonna continue going on. I think there's some sort of like release, a certain solace in coming to that conclusion. Trying to think of yesterday's poem. Yesterday's poem had a little bit of that twang to it as well. Hey man, see you after a long time. Magic 322 Shorts. That name looks mildly familiar. If you're here again, welcome. This space has been open to you. Sunscreen inside. Don't make fun of me. I did put on sunscreen inside though. But I'm gonna go outside very soon. So and it's like a morning, it's an AM cream. You laugh at me. I feel the love. I just feel all of these little pss, 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 pss. Makes me happy seeing those little bobules. It stops. Love is true. You missed my comment, Mel. Gob and I are antsy this morning. I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. I said things about the antsiness. I'm feeling antsy too, oh. I swam professionally for 16 years. Never used sunscreen. Yes. What if I told you sunlight makes it inside your home? Yes, it does. I swam as well. I don't know if I swam professionally. I competed. I have 46 medals, but I don't know if I was ever a professional. I also enjoyed swimming. I drowned as a child. And then my mom, to try and remedy that situation, started getting me to swim when I was a 5-year-old. She was like, okay, you drowned as a child, now you swim. Get good at swimming. My mom can't swim to this day. She can float, but she says that she can't swim, which I don't know if I believe, but I wouldn't test it necessarily. So it was important for her to get me to swim. And apparently I'm good at it. You know, was very, very early established that I am good at the swimming thing. And then I continued to compete up until I think I was 17. Because I wasn't keeping up with the other kids the way that they were. They were practicing in the winter and stuff, and I couldn't be bothered. I was like, Alba, no, I'm not gonna practice in the winter. I would say I'll practice when it's hot outside and I want to swim, not swim because I want to get good at it. And then I think that's why there was so much hatred for me in that space as well, is I would not practice all winter, and then the other swimmers would make fun of me for not practicing. You know, oh, like a Melt doesn't practice during winter because he's cold. And then I would still win. Only the one stroke. I would win breaststroke. Breaststroke was my creme de la creme. And I would get like second place on average with my free stroke. I would not do butterflies. I hated butterflies. Butterflies can suck ass. And I don't swim backstroke at all. Sometimes they would force me to do butterflies. They couldn't. I would pretend. This feels like I'm doxing myself a little bit, revealing all of my kids' secrets. I would pretend that I don't know how to keep a straight line when I would swim backstroke, where I would just swim on purpose into the side little skirtings until the teachers that were the ones that instructed us, coached us, literally stopped me from doing backstroke. They were like, no, stop. Like, this is going to be an embarrassment to our entire school if you swim like this. And I was like, oh, wow. Oh, I guess I'll just not swim backstroke or whatever. Yeah, I think it was because one of the first ish times that I swam backstroke, I swam with my head straight into the back of the swimming pool, and I was like, "Fuck that, forever." I would like to look where I'm swimming from now on forward, and they couldn't get me. They tried, but they failed. And I also didn't wear sunscreen at that point. I think that's the story that I was getting at. I think there's a certain craziness, right? Certain obsession inside a swimmer's mind. It's like, this small layer of sunscreen is going to make me microseconds slower or whatever. Yeah, it may be because I have so much delicious we I can't enjoy it. Double okay. That makes sense, Gab. That will put you in the NC. When can you enjoy it? After I directed the new job. Yeah. I'm also feeling really antsy, more antsy feelings. I tried to get to bed early last night, but my brain was ruminating on gestures vaguely at everything. You know, I really feel you, dear Gubs. I also went to bed early. We went to bed at like 10. I think we were in bed by 10. And I fell asleep relatively quickly. We watched a show called Shrinking last night. It's it's one of my favorites. I really like it. And I don't think it has a lot of, you know, doesn't open tabs in your mind that keeps you ruminating as much. And I can imagine if you paid only mildly attention to the news cycle, gives you a lot to ruminate about. Don't look at me like that. I'm at peace. This is my peace face. I'm peacing. This is my peace mode 5000 name. Piecing. Piecing harder. Ah, that's a toughie gob. I've been there. A Philly Collins troll. That's fucking weird. A Phil Collins troll. Why do I? Am I wrong in thinking Phil Collins is the musician that did Tarzan's music? I think that's a Collins. I don't know if it's a Phil Collins. Gob, I slept great last night, but now I'm full of energy and antsy. I had an interesting dream last night. I also had a lot of dreams last night. I don't know if any of them were necessarily interesting, but there was lots of them. I need to share the antsiness, bro. I can't carry it all myself. The dark side is strong, but not that strong. I was at my old job with one of the coworkers that is a hater of mine. I helped her climb into an empty Coca-Cola bottle, which teleported her somewhere. Oh, that was the dream. That was the dream. My mind, for a second, gobbledygoo, read that like it was reality. I was like, oh my, you teleported someone somewhere with a Coca-Cola bottle? Straight to jail. Teleport somewhere in Coca-Cola bottle, straight to jail. That's how it works, Gab. I don't know what to tell you, bro. What happened afterwards? I think maybe he's gonna tell us. And other folks and I were talking about how your expectations about the bottle determine whether you'll fit in it or not get stuck or make it through to the other side. Certified A plus weird. That is one of those weird ones where in the dream space you're like, yeah, this makes sense. Of course. Coca-Cola bottle, yes. Teleporting people somewhere, yeah. Moss. And then you wake up and you're like, what? What did I just experience? Why Coca-Cola bottles don't teleport people? Right? Right? Does it? Is that the secret ingredient we've been missing this whole time? All we needed to teleport was Coca-Cola bottle. Pretty interesting, right? Pretty much steak and eggs, no food. Hey, that looks like the start of food talk. I wasn't talking about food. I was talking about cooking someone I love a meal. Okay, all right. There's a difference. Okay, I'll say there's big differences. God, the bottle sounds like a metaphor for life or enlightenment. It only works for you when you're ready. That's not a bad take. Not a bad take, Dan. The Coca-Cola bottle only transports me when I'm ready for it. Damn. I feel like I've been super led on by all of those McDonald's commercials. I know McDonald's sells Coca-Cola products, and I'm sure that there's some sort of commercial that you saw that makes that line make sense. When you're ready for it. Did McDonald's make you feel like it was accessible at all times? I love you, Tragic Perception. We love you too. Welcome to the space. This is so cute. Oh, thank you. My attitude on the news is as follows right now. Given my job responsibilities, there is little I can do to stop a fascist regime. Instead, my job is to lead with love in my circles of influence. Yeah, that's pretty much it, dear Dan. That's pretty much it. There is only so much we can do on the ground level. We can vote locally. Uh, we can we can vote. The midterms are coming up. I guess I don't think I can vote, but you can vote. And we can vote again 2 years and 10 months from now. 2 years and 10 months. That doesn't sound like too much, does it? Maybe just like that, and it's over, and we'll be on the other side again. We certainly annoy the shit out of our elected representatives. I think that's happening. I think that is very much the case right now. I don't think any of them feel popular. Right, that's what I've noticed at least. I see this desperation. There's so much desperation. I went create a record of telling you so. Wait, remind circle of influence. They were indeed told so. It's been rewarding recently. Yeah, I've been in my circles just been having this really pragmatic kind of take on reality of like, let's stop theorizing and let's do things. Apply the steps. Be like, have you been eating well? Have you been sleeping enough hours? Have you been drinking water? No, you haven't been doing those things? Well, of course you're gonna feel bad. Of course. Why are you surprised? I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. Let's start taking care of ourselves. And instead of being as influenced by the cycles of media that we see, things not going the way we want them to. That is today's stream topic, the minor inconveniences. Some inconvenience, so to be, if Darren try do your wow, it's not gonna worry about it more than I have to. God, honestly, how has that been going? He's calling our elected officials incessantly. He's has calling our elected officials incessantly. Stop the fascist takeover. I would say no. Again, I don't think it's possible for it to be taken over. I just think that we literally, and I'm saying we in the general term, as in America, elected that person into power, right? They were elected into power, and now they're in power, right? And how much we annoy them in the meantime, I don't think is going to have much consequence. We just have to wait for that power to ebb and flow, like all power does, right? Like all power eventually does. Like that's one thing about power is that it's liquid. It keeps flowing. All right. I think it's clear that the major companies are trying to consolidate said power, right? Keep it in their hands. But MySpace disappeared, right? Used to be one of the biggest platforms for people to socialize, and now is nothing. Literally nothing. They had power. They had power, and now they have nothing. Right? Zilch. Not even a little drop. And that's kind of the way that things go sometimes, right? Betting on a regime, betting on a fascist takeover is probably going to eventually bite you in the ass as well. So I kind of am betting on the people that I have around me, betting on myself, practicing my yoga, eating enough food to not starve, right? That's all I have to figure out how to do today. And if I did that, then tomorrow I'll have another day to figure out that day's problems. But today's problems are very simple, I'd like to say. My elected representatives got made into a meme about being a coward, and he still shows up to work. Nice. I have an AI do it. My boy thinks he's Aiden Ross. I don't know who Aiden Ross is, but I am sure he's cool. If you think I think I'm him, because I can't imagine you would think I would think I'm someone who isn't cool, and I'll see that as me being cool. Boom. Get myself cool. That works. But they keep pushing us further into the corner, and we will assemble with our goulets. I don't know what a goulet is. Is that like you have a girl, but she's a ghoul, but the feminine for ghoul is goulet? I'm sorry, Gabs. I'm trying. Imagine being such a loser that you aspire to Aiden Ross. I was mistaken. I'll still take it as a compliment. I'll still take it. Thinks he's witty. Enjoy having your comments selectively removed. Chris Jericho. It's wild how many Chris's that I get compared with. I've been compared to Chris Pontius and of course Chris Pratt. I've heard my sister has compared me to Chris Hemsworth as well, and I shouldn't tell you, friends. I shouldn't. I shouldn't let you know that I am technically. I won't. I'll just allude to it a little bit, make you pick up on any patterns that I'm putting down. You look like Screech from Save the Bell. Again, I wish I understood these comparisons. Screech. Where did I put my tablet? I think it's on charge or something. No, that's originality. The Screech from Saved by the Bell. I need to check that out. That does sound funny. Be right back. Let me see. Let me see with my own eyes. Oh, Screech from Saved by the Bell. Screech. Oh, okay. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Feel like it's kind of funny. It's a little bit funny. Part of me wants to show you one of these ridiculous photos. I think this dude has like 3 times the neck I do, but it's still kind of funny. Part of me wants to show this photo. I think this one is good. I can kind of see it. I think it's the curly hair that's giving me away. Look at the kid. I can kind of see it. I think that's the closest one. That's the closest one from a movie that I've seen in a while. He just got way more neck. He's got so much neck. Like this photo. Oh my goodness. Like that is a lot of neck. That's so much neck. Like it's melting my brain actually to see that much neck on a person. All right. I've been bamboozled. Nice one. Let me open my comments on here so I don't have to keep reaching. My comments on. All righty. What did South Africa do to you? You just left us. Africa will never unite. South Africa did very little for me. Maybe that's one way to say it. But that's not exactly the reason that I left. I left for a bunch of reasons. Love being amongst them. A realization that the kind of work that I want to do in the world will require me to be in a certain type of world, right? Like I am mostly an artist for the most part, right? And I have noticed that people refuse essentially to pay for art in South Africa. I think the only art that I've been able to sell in South Africa was my stickers, right? And it was $1 a pop. I think that's why. Because it was a singular dollar for them to acquire my art. And even then, I sold maybe 200, no, even less. At most 200 little pieces of art, right? So $200 worth of art was able to be sold by me in my home country. Before even getting to America, I have been able to sell digitally more than 10,000 US dollars of my art, right? And I feel like that's one of the big things as well, is like maybe it's a matter of abundance, right? Like there is more money in America, so it's easier to support a person that you value the work of. But I think for the most part, it's just extreme generosity from you friends, right? Like the love that you friends have for me is the thing that kind of like got you to support my work in the way that you have. And unfortunately, again, I haven't seen that same level of enthusiasm in South Africa. Quite the contrary. If anything, I've seen the opposite of enthusiasm for support. It's like actively trying to figure out ways to not support each other. And I guess it is a matter of like resource limitations. Like there is less resources in South Africa. And that is kind of the reality of the situation. But yeah, South Africa is rough, pretty rough. There's very few opportunities for a person like me to earn a living, right? None, technically. Not a single opportunity. I looked, I looked with my eyes. I even started a business to do my creative work. And then in that whole pursuit, I think I made, what is it? Maybe $2,000? Just $2,000 in a whole year of trying to do creative work. People are building homes close to this space, and I'm like, I keep hearing that cooks. So yeah, right. South Africa has, in so many words, discouraged me from being the person that I am. I felt myself kind of like falling to a certain way of being, and I do feel like it's going to be easier for me to do what I'm supposed to do on this side of the world. It took me deep. Oh, took me very deep into my feels. I haven't left. Even your skin has changed. That's yeah. Started bleaching myself. Should stop. No, I should not say stuff like that. Oh, that's originality. The person that made it through the Coca-Cola bottle was wearing a hat. That hat remained inside the bottle. Extra cryptic. Extra cryptic. Later, I was dreaming that I was doing dishes in a century old home after a family friend's meal. I was using one small sink, and later I noticed there was a second sink I could have been using. And then later there was a third sink. And I literally scrubbed grease off a pan for 5 minutes in your dreams. Yeah, sometimes, like in moments like that, it confuses me. It's like, why? Why am I dreaming about washing plates right now? It's like, of all things, I had a dream last night about being in a like kind of like festival environment, but we had a nice chalet in our festival environment, and our chalet was facing the pool that we had booked for ourselves. And then as I'm going through this space and I'm excited to go to one of the dance floors to go and dance, I take my shoes off, and then I find that my shoes stink, which is usually something that's not happening. So it was very like stark to me, like, why? Why is this happening? What did I do? What did I do wrong? And it's something like so silly where it like completely put a whole damper where I was like trying to hide my shoes from the people that I was, in the space with, like forbid that they smell how stinky my shoes are. And I need to hide them before I go out because maybe they'll find them. And it was one of those things that kind of like put me at a certain state of like, why? Why am I dreaming about this? Maybe it's a matter of like insecurity, like my humanness being an insecurity of mine. Maybe I can extract that kind of wisdom from the dream space. I can see it. Oh, you're cute. That's how fascists work, Mel. You elect them and they take over. Ever heard of the Nazis? They were elected, lol. Oh yeah. Again, the matter of the internet, I think, is the thing right now, Dan, is that we live in the internet age. Then the Nazis couldn't could I should say rather manipulate, all right, the media, and literally they were in control of the propaganda that was being outputted constantly. And I feel even though there is still propaganda happening, the fact that we have differing opinions to the status quo, if you will, at least to me, means that their propaganda isn't working. All right. Otherwise, our opinions would be different, and that would be room for concern. Me to melt, I can affect my sphere of influence. If I do that in love, then I've done everything I need to do. Exactly. I'll leave tomorrow's problems to tomorrow's me. Melt more. Varangova. I don't know if that's the best quote to quote me on, but yep, that is the way that I kind of think about it. Unless there's something I can do today to make tomorrow's problems easier, that's tomorrow's me's problems. Nah, the Heath Ledger comparison is spot on for you. That is the one that I like the most. It's not exactly a Chris, but that one I like the most. I really admire Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker, for example, and I definitely can see that one as well. I don't think any of these celebs are as close a match as Heath Ledger. Hey Google, Heath Ledger.
Australian actor.
Yeah, we do look pretty similar. Mr. Heath Ledger. Combo of Heath Ledger and Jon Snow. Yeah, I just had to like refresh my brain. Sorry for not showing you. The photos weren't really good. Notice his neck. Oh wow, what's that? Comedy goo, love to you. Crazy hair, South Africa. Nice. Oh yeah. Hello everyone. Darren is here. Hey Darren. I see Kate here with us too. Hey Kate. Maybe it's cause we all have to work to live. Americans are more sensitive to someone who chooses work that doesn't pay well. What exactly does that mean then? More sensitive. Like in a way where you see as an American that I'm doing this work and you feel a sense of willingness to support my work because you know I can't be earning much in doing that. And maybe there is a matter of like influence where you feel a sense of satisfaction that you get to be the one that in part makes that possible. Jo doesn't really want me to get a job. She likes the idea of me getting to be an artist and continuing down that rabbit hole, give myself the room to be creative. But the problem, the problem is that I don't know if I want to use the word get bored, but I'll get antsy. Can already feel myself getting a little bit antsy. Just a wee bit, just the ritterest of bits of antsy. And I think getting a job is going to give me a lot to fill my time with. Right. And I think maybe there's something to be said about that as well when it comes to like the American culture sphere, is that because people want, in a way, to be distracted from the world by having a job and then getting paid to do so as well. Like there's almost this, I want to use the word give and take, but I'm thinking about it more like a matter of like willful ignorance or, like putting your head in the sand, Edness, right? You get what I'm getting at? Can be a minor inconvenience. That coffee is hot, hot. I like it. Oh wow, yeah. Is that a sensei that I see? Sensei, it's nice having you here with me, bro. I have been riding my UC, and I really like it. You did kilometers an hour in Canada, right? It's like 25 miles an hour. I've been averaging 25 miles an hour on my wheel. I really like it. You were right, Sensei. You were right. It is the superior way of transporting yourself. It feels like you're flying. you kind of forget about the wheel in some ways. Ideally, you forget about the wheel. If you can get your foot placement right, just right, right, you stop having to tweak your back as much, and you can just be. It's the dude that dances with mops. It's insane. You can see that, bro. Remembered by the gobbledygoo. We got Kate saying, "Hey Mel, just FYI, I just deleted my Discord, but we still need to have a chat. I have an opportunity. I'm going to start working on my house that is empty. I will need help, and I can house you and pay you for about 2 weeks of work. Let me know if you have interest." Are you still here? Are you still here, Kate? How am I supposed to contact you when you're not on Discord? You just deleted Discord, so it doesn't help me to try and like send you a message. Check, check. I'm sending a check, check. Because like I don't think we've ever exchanged cell phone numbers. So like I'm not interested, but I don't know how we're going to be able to stay in contact. Let me know. I am here. All right. Yeah, I'm down. And again, as I said, I do need something to channel myself into a little bit. So maybe that is the. I gave you my phone numbers. Let me check. On the Discord? Hey, wow! Good thing that thing auto closes and it's made of metal. Putting it back. Let me check this. Oh, no. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. I do have your number. Sweet. I'll send you a message. A message will be sent. All right. Let me get back to it. I am funny today. I feel it. It's nice having you here, Gabs, being in this playful mood, bro. Mel, you said you don't have to have a job to survive in South Africa. You don't have that option in America. We must have income to survive here, so we prioritize income over everything when finding a job. It's true. I have noticed that even in myself, right? Like in this thought of having a job, uh, it's a little bit, just a little bit, more important to me how much I get paid than what I do, right? Where I know that most jobs aren't necessarily that enjoyable. So how little I enjoy it is of little consequence to me. And what is of more consequence is necessarily potentially how much I'll get paid for the work that I do. Right. And in that way, I can imagine that asks of a lot of people to numb certain parts of themselves. Right. I do imagine I'll probably work in a techie field. That is where I've specialized and gained skills my entire life. So that is probably where I'll end up going. But what you're saying is true then. For fuck's sake, Mel, you have an American woman who wants to just support you while you develop this community and you're trying to get a job. Fool. Yeah, I think again, me and Joe are very lucky, right? In the way that she owns her home and her mortgage is ridiculously affordable relatively to what some American rent is, kind of vibe. The cost of living, we've been budgeting, hasn't been unaffordable, right? So in that way, it's been okay as well. I won't stop. Let me just say that much at the very least, Dan. I won't stop continuing to build this community. This is my first love, right? This is my life's work, what we're doing right now, and I'm aware of that. However, and I see Gob agreeing with Dan as well. Uh, I I don't want Joe to resent me. To say it in so many words, right? I don't want her to feel like I'm, expecting that of her. And she made it very clear that she's more than willing to do that and help me with that. And that's what she's doing right now in so many words as well, right? But I don't know, it's a matter of I guess, control, right? Being able to control more of my reality, control where I spend my time, control where I go, right? You need money to travel, for example, right? And I would like to come and see you, friends, at some point as well. Working is nice to feel useful and connected to the world around you. Exactly. There is a little bit of a thing that work does, right? It does force you to have a certain pattern, to get up at a certain time, to be out there in the world. But with that comes exposure to the elements, feeling the cold on your face or the warm on your face, dressing appropriately, being aware of the road, the quality of the road, of the state in it. You know, is it wet? Is it covered in snow? Is there ice on patches of it? Right, like it adds a certain definition, a a quality to your life experience that can be useful beyond just the money you get paid for your work as well. Dan, Hubs, and Boy and I are on one income household, and we're proud as fuck about it. Love is true. Pretty sure your little son is going to appreciate having his mom around as well. A lol goop. I'm here. Love is true. Same with Christy. She's a stay-at-home mom to her three little crotch gremlins. I don't know if I don't know if I like that last three words. Little crotch gremlins. Like calling kids that makes me fucking cringe a little bit. I gave you. You did. I'll check you. I'll send you a message. Yeah, I get reasons for wanting to simplify, but I just want to stay in contact with the group Discord. It's best, Kate. It's true. Three little goblins. God, two of mine are just cats, and I feel like they're overrunning me on a daily basis. Do you ever work? Yeah, yeah. I started a business 2 years ago where I worked for festivals, where I would basically do full stack, build media, do the integration slash installation of the media devices, and then I would be the one that runs on computers those media devices for the whole weekend as well. And then for doing all of that work, building all of the media displayed, and I did have help, of course, with our sophisticated technologies these days. So I didn't have to do as much manual labor in the actual building of the media. I had to be cognizant and understand the objectives or the requirements of my clients, but I got them what they want to see, and I would send them the media, and then they would approve it, and then I would implement that media onto the screens, of course, for the whole weekend. And the most I made doing all of that work was $1,000, I think, right, for an entire weekend, plus media building, plus implementing the actual equipment, plus bringing my own hardware. And maybe $1,000 sounds like a lot of money, but those events happen once a year for that client, right? So I can work, I can work really hard, and like for me, the amount of workload for those things is like about 3 weeks. I spent about 3 weeks working to do one weekend's worth of like final hard work for $1,000. And it is a little bit disheartening because I know for a fact that my work is worth more than that, but I can't charge more than that because of the place that I'm in, right? Like they'll simply just go with someone else. Yes, that person is going to bring a USB stick with a bunch of generic festival media on it and plug it in and hit play and then leave. Like that's going to be the equivalent of the media they'll get, but that's the problem. That's the problem in South Africa, right? I can work really hard and still make barely anything. And then I would rather just not in that case. I think that's the thing that I was feeling in South Africa. It's like I was like, I'm doing all of this hard work for very little to show, right? Like basically just covering my cost of living for the amount of time. I mean, my cost of living was about $500 a month, so half my cost of living has been, or I got twice my cost of living for almost a month's worth of work. So technically, I could get ahead, but that's if I could do a festival like that every second weekend. which is rarely the case because most of these companies, like the reason I got that job as well is because they were a brand new festival brand, right? They haven't done festivals yet at all. I was the person who did their very first show ever, right? And then as a result, they kept using my services because I did my job. I did my job well, right? Did not fail, did not meet their expectations. But even then, I could feel it in my heart, like this sense of like, "Ugh, is this it? Will this be it? I don't know if this is it." So yeah, working does have a certain quality to it. So my point was, I think Americans are more willing to pay an artist because the person is taking the risk financially that we are all afraid to take, but want to. I hear you on that, Dan. It means a lot. I hope you know that to us artists, having the support of a community, it's literally our lifeblood. If not for you, friends, I have nothing, right? I do have thousands of works of art. I have thousands of days of live streams. I have thousands of yoga classes, you know, under my belt as my body of work. But if you friends go away, I have nothing, right? Zilch. And I think there's a double risk in that as well. It's like you can do all of this work, you can make all of this stuff, you can gain a certain amount of success, maybe just enough to maybe afford something, and then all of it can go away the next day as well, right? Which is like, I think that's the real scary part then. Okay, it will be working side by side with me to get this house ready, cleaning, painting, smoking, yada yada. Could be fun. If Joe could bring you, say on a weekend, then I could take you back. That does sound like an adventure, actually. A little bit of a side quest, right? You see my life as a gamified experience, and someone, someone just prompted me. You know, I have a little. You see right here, right here is my little task window, and there was just a new little point that came up in text. And now I need to check that box up there in order to close all my tabs. They are gremlins, Melt. And we all know that those little goblins came from. Yeah, I know that, but I think it's like the representation, like in the words, right? It's like it takes me down a certain, like instead of seeing them as a kid, right? Her kids saying crotch gremlin takes me down to a place where I don't want to be right now. I want to be there. I know where they came from. I don't want to know where they came from. The stork, every baby after their first one comes by the stork because no woman is dumb enough to go through that bullshit twice. My favorite coffee, the most beautiful tea house, my favorite coffee shop, the most beautiful tea house. Good morning, loved ones. Hey, we got a Jaju joining us. It's nice having you. He says, as someone, that was the stand first, as someone who has worked as an artist, I see you, Mel. Thank you, bro. It is a uh, experience. I wanted to say like a bunch of things. I wanted to say it's hard. I wanted to say it's challenging. I wanted to say it's sometimes unappreciated, but it's an experience. I think there's a whole experience, the whole like broke artist fractal. Some artists like being broke, you know. Some artists revel in that experience of like they feel, and maybe that's like some of the work that I need to do. Uh, that there is something glamorous in struggling a little bit, right? That the art is better because I struggled for it. You know what I mean? Part of me feels like that a little bit. Part of me knows without a shadow of a doubt that making my art is the real value, right? And then if I continue making it, because I continued making it, that's the thing that's going to add value to it eventually. And then I'll have thousands of works to sell, right? If there is a if there is a market. That's the word I was looking for. I need 1,000 fans. That's the number, right? 1,000 true fans. And I feel with like friends like Dan and Sam and Gabby Goo and Kristen and Joe, very much so, Joy Vive, Aunt B, Nancy, Jaju, Kate. Sensane, definitely as well. I'm pretty sure Sensane is a Patreon supporter as well. Feel Varangova is definitely getting there. Right. If you have 1,000 true fans, I feel like we're maybe in the like 24. I think we're in the 24 range. And what a true fan indicates is someone who like sees your work as valuable enough to be willing to support you in it, right? For instance, if I had to publish a book, right, a true fan would want to buy that book because they value my output and they would like to have that. And if I have 1,000 people like that in my life, I won't have to worry again, right? And that's the way that I've been trying to see the whole artist journey, is that I don't have to convince the world, I don't have to convince 8 billion people to see my work as valuable. I have to convince 1,000 people to see my work as valuable. And that seems like a achievable task. I don't think it's going to be easy, but it seems like it can be achieved. All right. And we've gotten to like 24-ish in the last 5 years. Right. So at that pace, it'll only take me a couple of decades to get there. Right. I'm here for a couple of decades. Might as well start showing up today. Nancy, hello, Melton streamers. We are all alive together. What a blessing it is to be alive here with you. Sending you love, Nancy. Melty, good morning, brother. Hoping the world meets you well. Always. Always. Despite all of the minor inconveniences that we find ourselves facing, Jaju, this world finds us well. Mm-hmm. Beat me to it, Sam. The band is nice. The weather is starting. Aww. Catherine, thank you for sharing some hearts with me. You've been a new friend in this space, right? And every time you found yourself here, I'm pretty sure you've been sending me some love. It's very nice of you. Thank you. The weather is starting to break, and I need to get off the couch and get back to my projects. Would be fun to have you here, and kind of unbelievable, actually. Give a call later. You. I'll do so. I now know that I have your number. Banhammer Sam Stokes quickly. Stokes? Sure. Might have to leave a message, but I will call you back. Talk to you later. Bye, friends. Love to you, Kate. It's nice having you here. So we've had the Olympics on in the office. These male figure skaters that skate in a duo are both the prettiest and manliest men on the planet. Yeah, having blades attached to their feet, throwing each other in the air, I imagine, or something, catching each other. Yeah, I find it very impressive as well. I think when we went to bingo night, they had the Winter Olympics up as well. And I think it was those gymnastics where they would like do stuff on the big mat and they would have that pole that extended up from the air pole. And then they would do things that baffle my mind where I would be like, oh, wow, do a backflip on a pole. Why don't you? And they do. They land those backflips. It's very impressive to me. But it is one of those things that make me like feel like I'm in a fever dream a little bit because I watched this thing happening, and it's this sense of, is this happening? I don't know if what I'm saying is making any sense, but it's this genuine sense of like almost like looking at humanity, right? Looking at the face of humanity and realizing that part of the face of humanity is girls in leotards doing backflips on poles, right? And like we like that as human beings. We're like, nice, nice. And I was like, I was thinking about the humanity in me, where I was like, I would have moments where I would like look back. I think maybe it helped that the TV was behind me, so I would like have to do this to see any of it. But I would do this and then see some shit, and then I'd be like, okay, I've had enough of that now, I think. And then some time would pass, and I'd be like, Yep, they're still doing that. They're still doing it. Still doing backflips on poles. Maybe a part of me is the part of me that wants to be able to do that stuff as well. All right. It's like I see that stuff and it's like, how much training did it take? I could do that. I could totally do that. Breaks neck. Oh, love is true. Sending you blessings, Dan. On one hand, they're wearing these bedazzled outfits, prancing around on the ice, and on the other, they are tossing these incredibly fit young women around like they're pancakes. The juxtaposition. Yeah. For me, the same thing with the like the this down suspended hoops, right? Where they like can control their mass in the air. That to me is like, oh my god. That's like I want to be that strong one day. I want to be strong enough to be able to put my hands down on the floor. I'm like 60% of the way there. All right. Put my hands down on the floor and then lift my legs up behind me. And then put my legs down and then lift my torso up and put my hands in the air and then put my hands down on the floor and then lift my feet up into the air. I want to be able to do that like it's easy, but it's not. It's not easy. Whoever told you it's easy, it's not. Like, and I keep practicing, but I keep failing. What's there? Wasn't there a Will Ferrell movie about ice skating? Yeah, and it's great. It's called Hey Google. What's that Will Ferrell movie about him ice skating? I know Balls of Fury, but I want to say Snow of
That
Fury.
movie is Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. I know it was like something like that. Balls of Fury. It was called Blades of Glory. It's a good one as well. Will Ferrell stars as Chaz Michael Michaels, a sex addict skater who teams up with his rival Jimmy McElroy to compete as the world's first male pairs team. That's hilarious. Yep. And it's a good movie. I think it was that movie where he was riding on a Zamboni. And like that scene has been forever like crystallized into my brain. I want to ride a Zamboni down a street after watching. Yes, Blades of Glory, Nash. There it is. You actually said it, Dan. Just showing some love. Thank you, Catherine. It means a lot. Man, I disappeared for a little while, and now we're backflipping on poles. Yo, you miss a lot. Just like it's nice having you here, Duck Dad. The human body is capable of amazing things when given what it needs. Unfortunately, we are a species that decide that only a few people get what they need. It is unfortunate. Fucking dumpling eaters, the poles. And for the record, I'm a boy who used to do backflips off of poles. You used to do gymnastics as well? I'm not surprised. That makes a little bit of sense, but nice. Pretty neat. Gymnastics are doing his gymnastics. Melty, maybe you should lean into that chapter. A compilation book full of flowers and poems and inspirational thoughts your thoughts should definitely be portrayed in a physical form. I've thought about it. I really have thought about it, Jaju, but I don't have an audience, right? Like maybe you friends are like, "How dare you, Melt? I'm an audience. I would buy book. You might. I am sure you might, but I might only sell like 4, if I'm lucky, maybe 5, right? Then how much will I sell a book like that for? Printing an entire book of my flowers is going to be like $50 US, if not more, just for the book, without me making a dollar, right? And now I have to try and sell it to one of you friends for $60, $100, and you're gonna be like, "No way, Melt! I'm not buying something for $100." And then I'm like, "Checks out, I get it." And then maybe only 2 people will buy one, and then I've made $100, right? And it's a matter of getting things to be printed and bound. Usually, they make it cheaper if you buy them in bulk. Maybe I could do something print on demand, but then it won't be up to my standards. The binding won't feel the way I want it to. The thickness of the binding won't be as good as I want it to be. The quality of the cover won't won't be as I might want it to be. The feeling of the paper inside, the glossiness of the prints. I am Very pedantic. And I'll make you friends. Gorgeous works of art, I promise. But I need the support. I needed the support. All right. Like I want to still, and I'm still manifesting. It's gonna happen at some point. I want to make like a really premium piece of art for a wall, right? Like a portal flower. And it will be cut out. It will be a very put together piece of work, but it will be almost like $1,000. That's kind of the budget that I have in my mind to execute on that perfectly. And finding someone who's willing to pay $1,000 for a piece of art is no easy task. But I want to, as an artist, as an artist, all I want is the support to be able to make my work. All right, and I feel like that's the thing that I kind of get stuck on, where I'll have to wait. I'll have to turn 60 and be found impressive. Oh, this 60-year-old man has been making art since his 20s. How impressive. Can we buy some of it? No, I don't need your money anymore. Old man Melt says, like, I figured it out myself. These works cannot be bought, they can only be gifted. And in order to receive one as a gift, you have to be a very good friend. I can imagine myself going down that rabbit hole as well. The whole Van Gogh fractal, right? That dude sold but one work of art in his entire life. And it seems to be that way with humanity, right? Like humans rarely value art by the artist as it's made. There has to be something. Yeah, I have to die or I have to do something adjacently impressive to garner a certain amount of attention. I have to be uh, respected in one way or another. There's like so many weird quirks of humanity's mind that I have to try and like balance in order to get where I'm supposed to go. They're called pierogies and they're delicious. You be quiet, Sam. Are we talking about food right now? We're not supposed to do that. Oh, you're talking about the Poles eating dumplings. They're not dumplings. They're called pierogies. I'm making fun of the English, but what did the Poles ever do for you besides hard work? Sinsen says it takes a lot of strength and balance. I can imagine. Maybe you're talking about the EUC strength and balance. You're right about that too. The Poles were the first to tell Hitler to fuck off when he tried to get them to peacefully surrender their land. The Poles said, "Fuck you, fight me, bitch," and that's how World War II started. The average Blades of Glory. Oh yeah, it could. I could teach you to do backflips of high bars in an afternoon if you fully submitted to the teaching, but many people freak out and end up kicking the shit out of the bar before letting go. I can do backflips on a trampoline. Does that count? Does that make me a more desirable student? Right? I can do backflips and front flips and land on my feet while on a trampoline. But the prospect of doing that on a pole, I don't think I've ever tried to do a backflip under my own power, right? Where I just use my own legs to jump and like throw my head back. That just seems a little sketchy to me. I don't know if I could fully surrender, is the problem. It's a total mindfuck, I can imagine. Blades of Glory, it is great, but the best Will Ferrell movie is Step Brothers. Oh yeah, with Talladega Nights as a close second. I didn't see Talladega Nights. I didn't see that one actually. Need to check that one out. But I did watch Step Brothers, and I did like that movie too. I was in a state qualifying. I was a state qualifying gymnast after only 4 years of practice, but I broke my wrist before state, so I never got to compete. How did you break your wrist, bro? You see, that's the part that I'm not keen on when it comes to gymnastics. And I think I might not be the right size for gymnastics as well. I might be too lanky. You want to be a little bit more like dense and put together, right? It's easier to do flips if you're a little bit more dense. I can imagine at least. Ooh, poor Hank Hill broke his sissy ankle before. He was talking about those Olympics. Yeah, those Poles probably shouldn't have been writing checks their army couldn't cash. Dan. The poor Poles are getting Borekieth. What did they do to deserve this level of scrutiny? I wonder. Uh, I could pull a work your light card. Oh, I'm doing some stretches. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna pull a sacred geometry card. But Melt, you pulled sacred geometry card yesterday. Well, pull one again today. Are you putting a blankie over yourself, Melt? Maybe. I did drop the temperature inside to 61. 61 Fahrenheit. That way the air conditioner stays off. Doesn't make any sounds. Hey, excuse me. Yeah, but they kick off the party. Whoa, instantly misses a bunch. My dad ruined every single sport I was forced to engage with because he never supported me, only belittled and criticized me. I almost said, fuck your dad. But I wouldn't say such a thing. No, I wouldn't. Never. I wouldn't say such a thing. I mean, he did bring you into this world, so I guess I have some gratitude for him. Some. Little bit of gratitude. But other than that, how dare he belittle my friend? Doesn't he know that my friend is big, strong man that just needed his dad to be supportive? My dad didn't belittle me much. Not from what I can remember, Dan. Gabs. However, my dad was just not very present, right? Of the 46 medals that I won swimming, I think he was only there for a single one of them. And that's the thing that I was very emotional about back in the day. So it was this weird fractal of like he was proud of me. He did support me, but he didn't support me enough. And that felt like it was worse. All right. So it does seem like that whole fractal does bring with it a bunch of traumas. So much stuff. Yeah, but they kicked off the party, Sam. The Poles had bowels. They said we'd rather die than submit to you Nazi virus. Exactly. Miss Pegs is here. Hey, Miss Pegs. It's nice having you. Good morning to you, friend. Welcome to the hippie circle. If there be attempts at shit stirring, you will be booted immediately with joy and enthusiasm. I actually broke my wrist doing a double backflip off the same height bar. I'm trying to teach you. One is easy, two is not. Do one, easy peasy. Do two, break your fucking wrists. That sounds horrifying. I don't want to break my wrists. My wrists are sensitive. Oh, look at how sensitive those little wristies are. Huh? I don't know if this whoop is working. It's still okay. It finally went out of pairing mode. I don't know if it's connected right now, but I'm gonna assume it is. I'm curious to see what this stream does to my readouts. Does it cause me stress? Does it cause me to recover? Does it act as a source of strain? Hey, it did detect the activity that I did. Oh yeah, it did. I actually broke. I know, not usual, where a lot of you are. I know, not unusual, where a lot of you are, but I just heard a loud roll of thunder. Uncommon for the San Francisco Bay Area, right? Really? That is very interesting thing to mention. I haven't heard much thunder here either. Don't think I've had enough time to really judge, but as you said, like from South Africa, I got a lot of like heavy thunder sounds. Are you ready for the card to be pulled? I need one of you friends to tell me when to stop. And then when I see a stop in chat, the card that my thumb is on will be the one that ends up being pulled. Fish. Fishon? Fishon? Is that a stop? I'm not sure. Got to go, sign out of work. Was nice to hear y'all's convos again. See ya. We love you, Sensane. Stop. Thank you, Joe. It's nice to have you here, Sensane. Your presence was appreciated. We'll see you again soon. This is the card we pulled today. We've been pulling the same cards, which is interesting to me. I find it pretty interesting. We pulled Emissaries of Love again. Again? Emissaries of Love. There are dolphins, hearts with wings. I'm pretty sure Kathy sent us a heart with wings on the YouTube today. There are a bunch of kids sitting in a circle, putting their energy towards the center. Look at that powerful center. Very interesting. Card number 37. I do like this card, so I don't mind pulling it again. It's one of the cards that I feel beautifully encapsulates this space, right? This card is about us and the friends that find themselves here with us. Alrighty. Card number 37, Emissaries of Love. New children. Sensitive new children with uncommon abilities are entering the world. They are being called various things: psychic children, crystal children, and millennium children, to name just a few terms in use. There are distinctions among them, yet it is apparent that they are all intuitive, creative, deeply aware, spiritually awakened, multisensory human beings who carry with them a message of universal love. Their unique capabilities, the connection they have voiced with dolphins and whales, and their ability to use planetary energy grids to communicate with each other, infuse this card. You are invited to look to the future with optimism and hope. Let's take that in. You are invited to view the future with optimism and hope. It's heartening to know that children are being born who embody the vibrations of peace, integrity, and genuine love. How may you better support the message they offer? How may you follow their example and become yourself an emissary of love? By shifting your attention from fear to love in each moment, you too will become a part of the evolution of consciousness that these children personify. You have the ability to contribute to a future of love for yourself and all beings. See it and feel it as already here. I did pull it upside down, technically, and the reversed meaning goes as such: your abilities, or those of children, you know, are misunderstood. Remember to be sensitive to the emotional comfort and security of all beings, especially the children born in this time of planetary transformation. What a trip of a card that is. Joe is such a gift in stream, Joe. He makes me laugh every time. I'm happy to hear that, because it's probably going to be like that indefinitely. We'll have lots to laugh about. Those polls had the ball to ride in against, tanks on horses. Yeah, I don't know if I admire that much. To me, it's like, you did that? Okay, cool. Balls and zero situational awareness. There it is. Yeah, when France rebelled and refused the Nazis, they were fucking effective. All right. Love is true. I'm happy to have shown up with you, friends. I haven't shown you a flower just yet, but I've read you today's card. You want to see the art I made yesterday? I like the way this one turned out. I do like the four geometry ones. I hope you like pink. Mm. I missed a lot of the stream due to meetings. No context. This got weird. Yeah. We talked about some war stuff, show. How did we get there? Oh, fascist regimes. Yep. Checks out. It did get a little bit weird. Politics adjacent. I've been skirting on it a little bit. Have a nice one, y'all. Pray for less antsiness. You got this, bro. Even if you're antsy, know that you'll be here with us again tomorrow. Okay. All right. Have you absorbed enough with your eyes? I will now read to you. Lend me your ears. Yesterday's poem was called Nothing Matters. A little bit rough, huh? Don't you think? But I think I wrote it good. I think I got the juice of what I meant. At least I tried to get the juice of what I meant in this poem. Nothing matters. I don't care, they say. Not cursed, liberated instead. Free to be as the I am all along. Even if who I am changes with time. Become someone who uses this knowing to be light. Find all the selves that hide in the shadows of mind. Learn how to use the pain of life as an anchor for where you are today. Living is the only thing that matters, it seems, and I care that you do. Nothing matters like care from you. Nothing matters like care from you, dear friends. I did have a whole moment in stream today talking about how, if not for you, friends, as an artist, I have nothing. Nothing matters as care from you, dear friends. It's true. It really is the truth. I appreciate you, friends, for seeing this as something that matters, even if nothing does. You do. And I appreciate you sharing your mattering with me. I appreciate you, dear friends. Thank you for joining me in this moment. My heart dies. Seeing them now. Love you, ciao. Already counting the time for you to be back again. It's only going to be an hour and 20 minutes now. Yeah. See you soon, friends. Thank you for joining me. See you again tomorrow, okay? Goodbye, everybody. Love you. Oh, I was wondering if there's a comment going to come through. Enjoy your green beans in a shoe. And my oily hands, of course. I 100% cause you extra stress when I come on until you figure out if I'm going to be a total wild card or not. Love. I love you, friends. See you again soon. Tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Till we do it again. Cheers.